The Osmo Pocket. Is it still good after 6 weeks? Let's find out. Roll the intro. This channel started with tech review, and we talked a lot about the Osmo Pocket already. I think we did about at least 5 videos on the Osmo Pocket. Now we've been using this for a good 6 weeks. Ever since the launch date. We went to the store and purchased this. What do we think about it now after using it in a lot of vlogs, a lot of real life scenarios? What do we think about this? Well, it's still good, but there's definitely limitations to what you can use this for. Firstly, please give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button because it really helps out the channel. And yeah, let's get into it. So this whole video is going to be about real life examples on when we use this Osmo Pocket, what we notice and situations that we use it, rather than our phone or a mirrorless camera. We use this when we go on hiking, when we go to the beach, when we know that we're going to be walking around and shooting this at the same time. Because the gimbal just makes the image buttery smooth. It's great. You cannot achieve that with just your DSLR camera or your mobile phone camera. Alright? So right off the bat, if you're walking around doing a lot of exploring, traveling, hiking, you know, there's always the alternative to get yourself a GoPro. In my opinion, this is better in terms of getting a proper cinematic image, right? Because the GoPro itself has kind of like a fisheye effect, so it's not very practical in terms of if you want to shoot some cinematic footages. There are limitations when it comes to low light. Okay, now we recently went to a birthday party where we're inside this club, a bar where there's very little lights, very dim lighting. Okay, so initially I took out the Osmo Pocket and started filming, but I couldn't see anything. In the end, I had to use my mobile phone capture some videos. Under low light, this versus your mobile phone, well, in my case the Galaxy Note 9, it's a flagship model from Samsung, right? So it's very good camera. It does not perform as well as this under low light. And I guess one thing I have to mention is that the USB charging is here, right? So when we take a time lapse, right, when we're talking about an hour time lapse, the battery drains to 50%. So pretty much if you want to do a 2-hour time lapse, and by the way, this can go up to 3 hours worth of time lapse. If you choose 3 hours, you're going to run out of battery. Basically, you need to plug it in if you want to do a time lapse, or at least charge it after you do a time lapse with your portable charger or something if you're on the go, because the battery just drains really quickly on this. And the fact that USB-C is right here makes it pretty much impossible to charge the Osmo Pocket while you take a time lapse, because it's going to be sitting on a flat surface like this. Now there is a wireless module which you can buy, and then there's a USB adapter on the back of it which you can plug in you know, your charger, but that wireless module retails for 100 Australian dollars. So for me personally, I'm not going to buy it because you think about it this way. This device costed me $600. The wireless module by itself is $100. It's 1/6 of the cost of this. I just can't justify buying that dongle. And similarly, you can get a bracket around it which you can attach your tripod and all that, and that's $35 for a piece of plastic. I know in previous episode we were kind of anticipating to get the accessories, but I can tell you now that I'm not going to buy any accessories for this because it's just not worth the cost. I think there's another accessory where it's like a wheel adjustment. You can sort of attach it here, and then you can sort of control the tilting with it, but you can do the same thing with the touchscreen. So I really don't see the point of buying this extra attachment. Yes, it might be a little bit fidgety. You know, a physical button is probably better than this little touchscreen. But you know, at the end of the day, for me personally, I want the Osmo Pocket to be as small and compact as possible. Minimalistic, and that's it. That's all I want to carry. This inside the case, right? That's it in my pocket. If I buy all these extra attachments, it's not going to fit in this case. I'll probably have to go buy another case. Hopefully in the next version, Osmo Pocket 2, they'll consider putting this USB-C charger somewhere on the side maybe. Or have a built-in sort of scroll for the, I don't know, it's just, this is the first iteration. For what it is, it's great, but it's not perfect. I think personally, I am still very, very happy with this. I still carry this with me everywhere I go in case I wanted to shoot some footages. I haven't actually talked much about the functionality of this. I guess, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You got your settings, which you can go through. But one of the common questions, well, it took me a while to figure out, I should let you guys know as well, is the differences between the various shooting modes. So there's a FPV mode, a follow mode, a tilt lock mode. Okay, FPV mode, just think of it like your normal point and shoot camera where you can just, you know, direct it to where you're pointing the camera. But the only difference is this transition to the certain angle, the certain movement is a bit smoother. So you won't get that jittery image when you're moving the camera around. The follow mode is pretty useful when you're shooting a target that's kind of moving around, right? So you have, for example, you know, if you're shooting your pet, you click on the object and it's gonna follow it wherever it goes, provided that, you know, it doesn't go behind you, because there's a gimbal limit. It's about, I think it's about 180 degrees. So obviously it's gonna go shoot behind you, right? It's gonna, unless you turn it around. And then the last mode is tilt locked. Now tilt locked is actually, I've actually started using this a lot. So basically it locks the vertical movement of the camera, but it still follows you when you're moving it from left to right. What's so good about this is that if you actually have the camera in front of you and you're vlogging and you're walking, right? So naturally walking, there's going to be a lot of up and down movements. In the tilt lock mode, it sort of restricts the up and down movement. And likewise, shooting in front of you and you're walking, it's going to kind of appear as a smooth glide in front of you. Okay, so that was a quick one. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave any comments down below. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. And until next time, catch you around.